From raw chicken to raw sushi, health inspectors want to make sure everything is at the right temperature so you don't get a raw deal. Here's 13 ABC's Tony Geftis with this week's restaurant report card.
Health inspectors are scouring kitchens across Lucas County looking for something you can't see, bacteria. If they spot something that causes bacteria, it could cost you a violation. During the most recent standard inspections, health inspectors noted 16 violations at the Ralphie's on Navarre in Oregon. 6 were critical: raw chicken on a prep table, food held past the 7-day discard date, and improper date marking on ready-to-eat food in the cooler. In response, a spokesperson for the Ralphie's in Oregon emailed 13 ABC this statement: "We have corrected all critical violations immediately, and I will be asking our inspector to return for a requested re-inspection to verify and record all is completed." Next up, spicy tuna on Airport Highway in Holland. It had 24 violations during its last standard inspection. 12 of those were critical. The dish machine's bottle of sanitizer was empty. Utensils were in containers of water, and raw meat stored above vegetables in the cooler.
All the meats have to be stored on the bottom shelf.
The manager of Spicy Tuna showed our cameras around to show every violation has been corrected. From the utensils in water.
You actually cannot have water sitting. You can't have water sitting in here, so you can't scoop it.
To the dish machine.
Our sanitizer was empty. We did get that filled the day she came. I went to Gordon's. I bought some spare sanitizer.
People say the term "when it rains it pours," so when the inspector was here, the dish machine actually broke down.
The owner of Spicy Tuna explains this was the first inspection from someone new to the restaurant. Different inspectors focus on different rules. For example, the new inspector is now asking Spicy Tuna to thaw seafood by poking holes in the packaging.
We do it properly. The only difference is we didn't have a hole in it, like a very, very small little slit has to be in it.
It was very challenging for us to follow because there seemed to have been some discrepancy in between what was acceptable and what was not acceptable in between the previous inspector and the current inspector.
The owner adds his staff adjusted the procedures to make sure your meal is safe to eat.
All we can say, at this point going forward is to just constantly make improvements, just to make sure that something like this does not happen again.
Now for the restaurants with 0 violations, Par 2 Golf Courses on Alexis has a good approach. It's violation-free. Oh, you saw it. It took a bounce off the cup. Come on.
Just every day, clean the same thing, keep her up.
Right. And you've been doing that so you get 0 violations and you're on the up and up and it's great.
Right. All you have to do is constantly clean and do it in an order that gets her done.
Clean family fun, that's par for the course. For the restaurant report card, Tony Geftis, 13 ABC Action News.
And here are some other restaurants with 0 violations. Dennis Dogs and Burgers on Summit Street. The Next Sweet Thing on Mayberry Square out in Sylvania. Mancino Pizza and Grinders in Oregon. Also the Arby's on East Alexis, the Wendy's on East Alexis, and the Arby's on Manhattan. All of those restaurants violation free.